When exactly will my investments start yielding significant returns? It is extremely important to understand that the venture capital market as a whole doesn't really have any rigidly defined or strictly fixed payback periods. However, the more opportunities an investor has to make a profit and the more products a company has in its portfolio, the better. We are talking about a broad and diverse product matrix within a single specialized field. So, if we are focusing on artificial intelligence and blockchain and developing within that specific market, then obviously we should have several different areas in which we are developing products. It would be truly great if all these products complement each other perfectly. That is exactly why we position ourselves as a comprehensive ecosystem, because that is how everything is set up for us. Some of these products, naturally, will have a relatively short lifespan, and some might not even make it to the open market. That is completely normal because, according to global statistics, a staggering 98% of projects in the venture market, and unfortunately, there is nothing you can do about it, simply do not make it to the profit stage. In fact, the faster such projects are closed, the better it is for everyone, since fewer resources are spent that way. So, the more attempts you have and the more products you have, in our case, we already have more than 30, and we keep increasing that number, staying within high tech, AI, blockchain, and related fields, the higher the chance of reaching significant profits and recouping investors' money. The thing is, in the venture market, having just one single successful unicorn company in your portfolio is enough to multiply all the investments made by you, other co-owners, funds, and other participants many times over. That is exactly how the market works. That is why big corporations and large capital always strive to find that future unicorn to multiply their funds and cover the investments that didn't take off. For the same reason, venture startups do not have a fixed payback period. It all depends on the number of opportunities, and for the investor, on the various ways to make a profit. In the DGU ecosystem, there are obviously several such ways available. First, there are dividends. We have already paid them 6 times and have paid out over $350,000 in dividend income in total. Second, there are various project bonuses, which allow you to get money right away. These are not exactly dividends, but rather bonuses, but they can also be converted into profit, so we consider them a source of income for investors. Third, there is the share buyback program. Last year, more than 380 people applied for the buyback, and the yield from this procedure reached 30%. And accordingly, there are more conventional and time-tested financial instruments for making a profit, such as an exit, that is, exiting the investment entirely. This can happen at later stages of development, for example, during a subsequent Series A funding round, or during a formal public offering, or even through public tokenization, which we have currently planned for the first or second quarter of 2028. It's important to understand that these are absolutely standard and routine procedures for the global market. Even large established companies like the tech giant Microsoft Corporation, which are now recognized as industry leaders, went through this exact process. Back when they first started in 1975, shaping the entire market for personal computers, operating systems, and software, they were innovative startups. And we draw certain clear parallels between their journey and our own. So Microsoft started in 1975, and their early investors saw their first significant profit, if I'm not mistaken, only in 1986. That is to say, a full 11 years later. Of course, things move much faster in today's digital economy. Our investors, for example, received their first profits in the very first year of the company's existence, thanks to the team's determination and the strong desire to prove the viability of our business model. And we continue to do just that. Naturally, we aim for significant long-term profits, so we follow the classic investment playbook. It's worth noting that even in the large and mature US market, the time to exit profitable projects, and most importantly, the payback period for investors can reach up to 15 years. Naturally, we strive to achieve this much sooner. But the main model for generating significant profit is always an exit at a higher valuation in any of the possible scenarios. As I mentioned, an IPO, an IDO, or an investment round with a strategic investor. We expect this major event to take place around the first or second quarter of 2028.